Hey there, this is Marty from owingsart.com. That's OWINGSART.com, and thanks for stopping by today as we take a look at these Grumbacher American watercolor paints. These are they're called the Finest Artist Watercolor Paint. There's like 54 different colors in the line, and the folks over at my local art supply store, Wet Paint in St. Paul, Minnesota, were good enough to give me a few colors to try out. And if you're ever in St. Paul and you get a chance to stop up to Wet Paint, stop into 1684 Grand Avenue in St. Paul and check out the store, talk to some of the people. They're super knowledgeable, super friendly, and just an awesome art supply place. No matter where I go in the world or in the United States or anywhere, I always return home to Wet Paint because it's just my favorite art supply store in the entire universe. So here you can see these Grumbacher paints. As I apply them to the paper here, they just pop out. They're super vibrant on the level of like really great American watercolor paints like Daniel Smith or others, and really on par with some of the best paints in the world like Schmenke, the German paint maker, and also Sennelier, which is French, another excellent watercolor paint company. Now here's what I'm going to try to do with these. I'm going to try to create a little still life sketch. I'm not really a still life artist, but I always like to have fun and give things a try. So here I'm going to do a few grapes, a couple of strawberries, and a peach. And I'm going to start out here by the light sketch, and then I'll apply some masking fluid, or frisket as it's sometimes called. And that just masks out the white paper as you paint over it. You just go ahead and paint right over it. Later on, in a second here, I'll show you how I pull that up. But you can see I didn't have all of the combinations of the right colors in the few samples I was given, but I was able, because you can mix these so well, to like tone down the green using some yellow and other colors, deepen that red for the strawberries using a little blue and a combination of browns and orange. So I got a really deep red color out of that, and that was it's really fantastic. Now here I'm going to remove a little bit of this masking fluid, so I'm just going to use my thumb or forefinger and rub it against the paper here, and it's just like a little, it's like rubber. It peels right off without taking up the paper or anything like that. Now the contrast here is really quite bright, so I'll probably go back and try to tone that down a little bit, because once you get color on it, the white really seems to pop. That's just the nature of masking fluid, because you're going to get the bright white of the paper shining through, rather than try to apply some technique later on. The one thing I can't speak to about Grumbacher is light fastness quite yet. I haven't had a chance to put this to the 5 or 7 day light fast test, but I will, and I'll post those results in a future video. But for now, I know that they rate the light fastness pretty high in their own literature, but again, I like to do my own independent testing of that. But they have light fastness ratings from excellent to moderate to very good to fugitive, and none of the paints I'm looking at here are fugitive at all. Most of them are very good to excellent, so that's good news. And if you don't get a chance to stop up into St. Paul, or you're not in Minnesota or not local, don't forget to go check out wetpaintart.com. That's Wet Paint's website, and even pick up the phone and call them up. Like I said, they're super helpful if you have any questions at all about art materials or how to use things and whatnot. Of course, they couldn't teach me how to draw this peach right, because I managed to butcher it, but hopefully, just a quick sketch and I'll get better over time. That's always my hope anyway. Well, thanks for stopping by today as we took a look at these Grumbacher paints. For Grumbacher, for Wet Paint, and for owingsart.com, this has been Marty Owings. Have a great day, everybody. So long for now.